Thought I told you never to call me here.
Some of the things I love are photography, travel, skiing, and cuddling.
This is a very exciting time for my life because I'm just starting a new claims adjusting business.
I don't know, the type of girl that I'm looking for is one that's really attractive to me.
I'm a schizophrenic man. I'm supposed to see my doctor today. All right. This is a guy looking for a girlfriend. That's it. You're gonna take a guy who's looking for a girlfriend and put him on TV and say, oh, here's a pedophile. I think that's ridiculous. I think your story is a piece of shit.
Your schools, I went to your churches, I went to your institutional learning facilities, so how can you say I'm crazy?
This 30-year-old man, screen named Dark Hero, showed up expecting a date with a 13-year-old girl. Turns out he has a history of mental illness with possible suicidal tendencies.
Mom, just give me a Pepsi, please. All I want is a Pepsi, and she wouldn't give it to me.
So we've disguised his identity, but included him in our report to illustrate how there's no telling what kind
That
of
jacket,
unstable
though.
character might show up for a meeting with a minor. Listen as we read a little of what he said online to her just hours earlier.
I want to be your master so badly.
I only been with one guy.
Big Apple
That's
Baby
okay.
Best.
I'll tell you exactly what to do. You'll be...
This is like the real sickening thing about predators, and the biggest reason why they go after kids. Like, I hear adult men saying, like, they want, like, a woman who's young with low body count and shit like that because they're easier to train and they're more impressionable. Predators take, I mean, that is predatory behavior, but, like, here, this is classic.
Are you going to pose nude for me, sweetheart?
Maybe really good.
Sit down where? Okay, where the light is? Okay.
But
Okay.
instead of meeting his fantasy girl,
I love that Long Island accent. Okay. Oh, I remember now. He's got the funniest accent.
I know I'm doing a good job, but it's still nice to hear once in a while. I just read this book saying you should give yourself pats on the back. Daddy never gave me those pats I needed. You know, Daddy never...
You thought it was...
Wow, look how tall Chris was. Oh, wait.
Okay, where the light is? Okay.
But instead of meeting his
Coming out
fantasy
like an
girl,
alien, look.
I walk in.
You thought it was a good idea to come visit a 13-year-old girl for what reason?
Just hang out. Just a lovely guy, you know?
All I wanted was a Pepsi.
All I wanted was a Pepsi, just one Pepsi, and she wouldn't give it to me, just a Pepsi.
I don't mean anything
Just a Pepsi.
funny, huh?
She wouldn't give it to me.
Have you ever done this
And
before?
by Pepsi, I mean underage children. Disease bodies.
No.
You'll hear much more from Dark Hero later. But when 30-year-old Dark Hero learns he was going to be part of our report, he tries a different approach. Remember, we've disguised him because of his history of mental illness,
Come on.
possible suicide.
You know what pisses me off?
I'm ashamed.
Alright, you know what pisses me off about Dark Hero? Like, they gave him all of this, like, leniency and shit, and, like, all this care and shit. They, like, blurred out his face and shit. But, like, they did the same... What I mean to say is that they give all this care for predators and their mental health, but they don't give any fucks about the victims. It's parallels between Dark Hero and how they treated him based on his mental illness and fucking Vincent Ambrosio. He's the fucking worst of them all.
I'm sorry. I mean anybody any harm.
Then he reveals something that, after investigation,
This is like 20p. This is like very low quality. I'm sorry, guys.
appears to be true.
I'm a schizophrenic man. I'm supposed to see my doctor today.
All right.
Why aren't you the doctor? Yeah.
Just getting my life in order.
Ew.
Ruin my life.
Yeah, look at his
You're
lips.
the one who made the decision to come here.
Ew.
I'm a schizophrenic man. I'm supposed to see my doctor today.
All right, perhaps you should go see him.
I'm just getting...
It's like him and John Kennelly's like got 20,000 different appointments at the psychiatrist, 17,000 appointments with the psychiatrist. Now I'm on 2 appointments with the psychiatrist tomorrow, and these appointments are 8 hours long each, with only a 20-minute break in between. Yeah, no, I'll be totally booked tomorrow.
What about today? You don't seem that busy today. I thought on your own.
He's got 2 appointments tomorrow, but he's got too much free time today, so he's gonna call him to book even another appointment. Bruh, just impatient at that point, John Kennelly.
My life in order. You're gonna ruin my life.
I'm just getting my life in order. You're gonna ruin my life. I love it. I love it. I love it when predators play victim. What about the life of the child that has not even gotten a chance to start yet? All they wanted was a Pepsi.
You're the one who made the decision to come here. You should go see him.
Well, you're the one who...
I was supposed to see my doctor today.
All right, perhaps you should go see him.
I'm just getting
Chris is looking so lean and mean.
my life in order. You're gonna ruin my life.
You're the one who made the decision to come here.
But they didn't know I was gonna wind up on television.
You don't know. I'm gonna be on television.
Well, that's the risk you take. I didn't know I was gonna wind up on television.
I got a call and an application. And
Does that make you not guilty? I just, the way he says it, he's like, well, I didn't know that this was gonna happen. Like, yeah, like, we don't do bad things because there are consequences, and we don't know exactly when those consequences are gonna be, you know, hitting us. Like, some people get away with shit their whole lives, and then at the very end, boom, consequence. Some people get consequences constantly. I mean, yeah. Don't fucking chat with underage children online. Unless you want to be a
contestant on television.
underage children, that's kind of redundant.
What would you have done with a 13-year-old girl?
I probably just would have said hello and how you doing, and we maybe would.
Hello, how you doing? I would have just said hello, how you doing? I probably just would have said hello, how you doing? Goodbye. Do you like my hat?
We're taking a ride in the car, and that's it.
Oh god, look how greasy his hair is.
We're gonna take her for a ride in the car? Maybe.
If you wanna go and take a ride with me, we 3 willing in the 4 with the goatees.
I just got out of a mental institution a few.
Jesus Christ, I'm gonna take her for a ride in the car. I just got out of a fucking mental institution. Maybe I fucking will take her for a ride in the car. I just got out of the fucking mental institution. Gee, okay. That...
months ago. I'm just a guy.
And who are you? Just a guy?
Looking for
I'm just a guy
a girlfriend. That's it.
looking for a girlfriend. I hate this attitude, and a lot of fucking predators have this fucking attitude. They say, oh, I'm lonely, this and that. I really hate it. I really, really hate it. And I really hate it too, especially like when it's come in terms of like age of consent laws and like all these like hick states where like the age of consent is like 12. I don't know if there is a U.S. state where the consent is that low, but you guys know what I mean. You know, you got like these guys hitting on 16-year-old girls, and they're just like, I'm just a guy, literally. I'm just a guy looking for a girlfriend. I just got out of the mental.
You're gonna take a guy who's looking for a girlfriend, put him on the ride. Would you have done with a ride in the car, and that's it. We were gonna take her for a ride in the car? Maybe. I just got out of a mental institution.
Do you want to take a ride?
I'm just a guy looking for a girlfriend. That's it. Said hello and how you doing? Maybe we would have taken a ride in the car, and that's it. We were gonna take her for a ride in the car? Maybe. I just got out of a mental institution a few months ago. I'm just a guy.
Just a guy.
For a girlfriend. That's it. You're gonna take a guy who's looking for a girlfriend and
You're gonna take a guy?
put him on TV and say, oh, here's a pedophile. That's what you're gonna do.
Yes, exactly. Hold on.
Put him on TV and say, oh, I'm just a guy looking for a girlfriend. That's it. You're gonna take a guy who's looking for a girlfriend and put him on TV and say, oh, here's a pedophile.
Yes.
That's what you're gonna do, right? Because
Yes.
I came to meet a 13-year-old.
Yes.
Even though I didn't do anything. I think that's ridiculous. I think your story is a piece of shit.
I think you're a piece of
It turns
shit.
out Dark Hero has a long history of mental illness, and he has a history with law enforcement. In fact, his former girlfriend was granted an order of protection against him, an order which he violated. Later pleaded
Scary.
guilty to second-degree harassment
Look how
and
big he
criminal
is.
contempt. Yet here he is, able to chat online, make a date, and show up for a possible sexual encounter with a 13-year-old.
That's fucked up. You know, I was just listening to Chris's podcast featuring this guy. He said that the interview lasted about a half an hour, and for most of that half an hour, Dark Hero was just pacing around like a freaking Hulk, like in just a very ominous, threatening, but not quite threatening manner. Just like, not really, I don't know, but Chris is very uncomfortable. And what pisses me off is that they had a whole half an hour with this guy, and they only give us 2.5 minutes here. Oh, and fucking Joey Tcap, I think, interviewed him, and I was listening to it right before this, because my new BFF, Dumb Quixote, sent me the link to it. He's basically still on that same, I'm just a guy looking for a girl. I'm just a guy looking for a Pepsi. You're gonna take a guy looking for a Pepsi and put him on TV and say, he's a pedophile.
targeted. It's what might cause you to be targeted or will cause you to be targeted is not thinking what they think, so to say. They have their political beliefs and their convictions in most people's minds. So if somebody comes along with different ideas that don't agree with their ideas, their political ideologies, it's not that you think what you do, it's that you don't think what they think. So that's what they target. It's very similar to totalitarian countries such as Nazi Germany. Hey, for mugs and t-shirts and whatever he got arrested for in Connecticut. He bounced chat transcripts on the general public with that program. And the man is a fraud. And I'm surprised.
To be honest with you, Diane, I'm surprised
that any law enforcement agency would participate with him, to tell you the truth. So I would be happy to face off with them. I may not be recording the best video at the moment.
No, you're doing great, Matt.
Okay, I appreciate that.
I know I'm doing a good job, but it's still nice to hear once in a while.
To tell you the truth, 15 years have gone by. I've been in Riverhead Jail 4 times. I was in Rikers Island for 6 weeks. I've been in state psychiatric hospitals since that incident, and I honestly have never had anybody ever think or accuse me of the heinous crimes that I was accused of by Dateline. So I was targeted. It's 15 years later. They covered my face. The show aired once. I went on, I'm still trying to go on with my life. Let me also say that there are lines in the transcript that are not mine. So you know what? I think if you take someone like Hansen, especially over the last 15 years, he's bouncing checks. He's arrested for bouncing checks. He's gonna, what does Chris Hansen do? He's socially engineering situations is what he's doing. And he's targeting people who don't have the resources to be able to fight against him legally. He intentionally inflicted emotional and psychological distress onto Lewis Conrad in Murphy County, in Murphy, Texas. Kaufman County fraud. I'm not going to have my character defamed by a fraud. And I'll be more than happy to face off with him in any public forum. And
bro comes off like, honestly, he just sounds like a fucking Trump speech. It's incoherent, vaguely political. Sounds like the kind of rabble-rousing that went on probably at the Capitol. And the biggest issue that I have with that, well, 3 issues that I have with his ridiculous rant. Number 1, it pisses me off because it completely negates. It's basically like you're distracting everybody from the fact that you are not only severely mentally ill, but have been convicted of sex predatory. And you're distracting everybody from that with this freedom of speech, conspiracy, bullshit, average guy being targeted by Dateline in the stock market type beat. Number 2, I forgot what number 2 is, so I'll skip on the number 3. One of the biggest things, actually, the number 1 thing that irritates me the most out of I remember number 2 now. Ugh, he's so annoying, this guy, this Matt Dooley. Number 1 is his distraction of the masses with patriotic blah blah. Number 2, it's very, very agitating because his conspiracy theories are not even vaguely interesting. Like I said, I like a good conspiracy theory. I like him more than the next guy. I probably like him more than Mark Dooley. But his is just number 1, old news, number 2, fake news, and number 3, boring. But the real unforgivable crime is that he really tries to roast Chris. He goes in on Chris. Luckily, his words mean nothing, and it's all just like, basically, it's the equivalent of like that hitting me for like Chris's HP taking hits. But it's just very annoying because, like, he talks about like, the fact that Chris has bounced some checks or whatever, or like that Chris is all in it for the whatever. But you know what? It doesn't matter what he's doing it for, because number 1, he's spreading awareness about a very, very severe issue in the world. Number 2, dude, fuck the fucking IRS. Fuck all that shit anyway, and fuck money. It's not even real anyway. You want to talk about shit not being real. And the 4th thing tied all together that agitated me the most about this interview was that after all of this mental gymnastic and I can't even say rationalizing, connecting the dots, and all this slandering of Chris, and all of the boredom that I had to endure and that you're now enduring. I think that I've kind of picked up his way of speech a little bit because I've been up all night, you know, just got out of the mental sun. But the whole thing is that he basically admits that he rarely felt the consequences of it. He went in and out of, you know, prison and shit for a couple times. He did a couple of stints. Nobody ever bothered him about being a child predator or anything. Nobody ever knew. He never actually had to deal with the consequences. And so for someone who admittedly never even had to deal with the consequences of any of this shit, he like sure is freaking out about how evil tcap is and how it's like targeting the little guy. There was another thing. There was a final thing. I forgot it. But if I remember it, I'll come back and put it. Now let's indulge in some chat logs with Montisha. Log. This is your motivation.
Okay, I got this. No, I fucking got this, dude. I know exactly where we're going with this.
Alright, take 17,084. Jumping right in. Are you submissive, Beth?
And just when I thought it couldn't get any worse than child pornography. What you mean?
I mean, do you like to be controlled by a man?
I don't know. I kind of like the idea of someone thinking I'm hot and telling me what to do.
Well, I think you're hot, sweetie.
You cute too. Smiley.
As far as telling you what to do, I could think of no greater fantasy right now.
A fantasy, huh? So you have a fantasy of bossing around an adolescent. Are you sure it's just a fantasy? We'll come back to this, I'm sure. Really?
Are you a virgin?
Tongue face. Not anymore.
Okay, that's good. So would you like it if I told you what to do, Beth?
Yeah, that sounds like it would be totally hot.
So, in other words, I would be your master?
Good Lord. I guess I would have to do whatever you say.
I want to be your master so badly.
But I'm not too experienced.
That's okay.
I only been with one guy.
That's okay. I'll tell you exactly what to do. You'll be fine.
Okay, I trust you.
Okay, good. I wish my stupid roommate would get off the phone.
Me too.
Let me be your master, Bess.
If you want to be, I'll do what you say.
Whatever I say?
Yeah, unless it's totally sick or hurts.
Okay, I want you to learn to be very submissive to me, Beth. Me and only me.
But what about my mom?
What about her?
Oh, I still have to do what she tells me to when I'm here.
Okay, that's understandable.
Understandable. The guy sees nothing whatsoever wrong with the demented relationship he's proposing. But at least he's willing to allow that my relationship with my mother is understandable. Words fail me.
Yes. Okay, what's the next one? How's my DarkHero accent? Is it good?
It's good. You were pulling it off.
Your decoy is great. It's great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so where we go? Oh, what's next? Is it the tongue face?
Yeah, that one's next.
All right.
And I know Don Quixote hates this, but there's no other way to start this off. You can't hear me sticking my tongue out. So, tonguey face.
Ew. Are you going to pose nude for me, sweetheart?
Houston, we have a would-be kitty pornographer. Maybe if you're really good.
Okay. Not yet, damn it. This is not the Billy Goat's Gruff. Sorry, the Billy Goat's Gruff is in the next theater over. You walked into the wrong room.
Okay.
Not yet, damn it.
Sir, I'm sorry I want to talk to you. Sir. Oops.
I hate it when you do that.
Sir, I'm sorry, sir.
Don't do it again.
Sir, okay, sir. Sir, sorry to make you angry, sir.
You didn't make me angry. You just disappointed me a little. Oh.
Sir, sorry, sir.
It's okay, just don't do it on the phone.
Sir, sorry, sir.
Dude, he is the most incel of all the incels. Like, his chat life's not even as crazy as I thought it was gonna be. It's so pathetic. It's exactly like what I read on the fucking Reddit. It's exactly what I see in the fucking Fresh and Fit forums. It's like exactly. It's just like tale as old as time. This Dark Hero, and you know what? There's no way he would have been censored today. Like, he would have gone way viral, dude. Like, no way.
Absolutely not.
So yeah, that's Dark Hero, the most frustrating predator that I've reacted to so far. He's really fucking annoying. Classic incel, classic black pill. Probably would have a fucking podcast today if it wasn't for him being targeted by tcap. Anyways, guys, if you made it this far, that means you're a true blue. Why don't you comment your favorite crazy emoji? Like, what emoji do you use when you're feeling crazy? Comment it below. I don't know, just for fun. And also, just gotta drop the fact that I do have a Patreon now. I'm trying to keep it updated with like unposted reactions that have been like unedited by me and stuff, and updates, and you know, access to little side projects like a script that I was writing about our Dr. Phil episode starring me, Chris Hansen, Andrew Tate, yada yada yada. But yeah, if you guys are interested, the link will be in the description. And you know, bye.